Unplug me or just shut me down. Please just love me with your steel heart. I'd reboot you if you look at me with those cold eyes one more time. Hey everyone, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez. I'm coming at you today with the VeVe, OMI, Definity, DEVVE, daCat, FIAS update video. Guys, if you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. I love you all. Everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. Commenting, liking, subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon and smashing that super thanks button down below. Super chats as well. There is a bit of a couple of things going on here. VeVe continues to gain new users. That's what we had yesterday. I'm sorry, that's what we had. The update I got today, and also give me one sec. My internet seems to be on the fritz here, but we should be okay in 3, 2, 1. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. We're good. We're good. News on the war with Iran. We also have the why crypto's down today, and then VeVe giving us some details on their most recent drops. Also, Avatar. We're going to go over predictions and stuff like that. Let's start with Ethereum. They are down about 4.5% today. So you did see OMI go down. You did see anything paired with Ethereum go down. It's pretty much everything in the market. Everything that we go over. Why? I guess it seems that the war is taking a little bit longer than people would like to admit. It's probably going to go on for several more weeks. I remember back in 2022 when Russia invaded Ukraine, I'm like, all right, this will be over with in a month. 4.5 years later, here we are. So, you know, we're we could be there a very long time. On Polymarket, there is bets to see, and there's a 59% chance that there is going to be boots on the ground in Iran before the end of the year, and Polymarket is almost never wrong. So the fact that we might get, you know, boots on the ground there is not really a good sign, especially for a lot of uncertainty. We do not want the loss of American lives, any lives really, but definitely American. Bitcoin not as bad today, down about 3.5% on the day to about 68.3. It did go down to 67. It fell below 68 a couple of times today. And again, not much else to do with that. There is the consensus among like the traders, the people that just kind of read the charts, are saying like, yeah, we could see another break into the 50s. We had gone to 59.9 about a month ago. Phoebe, have a great weekend, Randy. Always do, always do. Oh, you reposted me. I will try to be on my best behavior here today because, not gonna lie, sometimes I'm not, but today I will try. We've got, again, I'll go over the Avatar stuff. I'll go over your guys' numbers, kind of interpreting that data to see where we're going and taking a look at where we're going to take a look at the numbers, where they're coming from. Are they old people? Are they newer people? Are they, you know, are they coming back? Are they returning? Or are they new? I did have a podcast before with the some of the NFT Craft peeps. The movie that is out right now, and you could actually order it on Amazon. I'm going to order it tomorrow, tonight. I do not have enough time, but let me, Krasu, floating head movie, and I wonder if that, okay, that's not bringing up what I want it to, and I thought I put something on my story. I did. This is from Jonas Odenheimer. I guess NFT cursed images is what I have to put in. And then we'll put in movie. It's not giving me a way to watch it. Maybe I just have to go to Amazon first. And then I will go in and watch it tomorrow. I'll let you guys know how it is. I thought you could do it on Amazon. It's not letting me. It's only giving me for Apple TV, which I do not have. Okay, Decider's letting me know where to stream and watch. There's an NFT. Cursed images. New movies, okay. The Strangers Chapter 3. I never saw the second one. The first one was pretty good. Okay, there's The Moment, The Strangers. Oh, all right, NFT cursed images. All right, we're getting somewhere here. We're getting somewhere. By the way, you can now, Actually, it's not giving me anywhere to. This title is not currently available to stream on digital platforms. You mother flappers, they lied to me. What you can do though is actually buy the severed head. You can do it both on VeVe and on Stacker. On Stacker, it is a little bit cheaper, but for some reason my Stacker can't be reached right now for whatever reason. Anyway, Pasternak saying first, Sergio collects, give me those thumbs up. Dunka dunka. Thank you, thank you. Omar loves Omi saying good evening. But I was saying, when will they ever start talking about Omi again? I don't know. You have the idea of, what was it? You have the idea. There's two forms of thought, trains of thought here. One is that they're going like full Web 2. They're about to be listed on NASDAQ, allegedly, hopefully, right? It's not confirmed yet. They just, I mean, there was another article that came out a few days ago where Orange Cloud said, yeah, we're both committed to getting this done. We just need a little more time. They didn't exactly say why they needed a little bit more time. I don't assume it was really anything that bad. If it was, like, if it was just like every now and then, Nintendo's usually really good at this, where, you know, most sides have like an agreement, but then there's just one person. There's like one like Dirtpool that nobody really likes that's holding up the deal. I'm not sure that's happened here, but again, if it is, we want to wish ill on that person, and hopefully that we everything comes to fruition. Anyway, assuming it does, and they're about to be listed on NASDAQ, maybe they want to step away from Web3. They build out the utility, fine, and you need it to buy stuff on Stacker. I've spent, what, 20 million OMI on Stacker recently, and it's fun. It's great. I love this stuff. I love this game, you could say. But yeah, again, they might want to try to step away from Web3 here, and they might want to go. I mean, you even have Cryptoys that rebranded as Digitoys, so maybe they talk about it even less. Or you have the other train of thought, which is that they're waiting until they're actually listed on NASDAQ, and they go over it on every earnings call, and they talk about how much more OMI they're buying and how much more OMI they're adding to their reserve or treasury, whatever you call it. Now, are those the only two options where they just don't talk about it ever again, or they go all in? No, it's probably somewhere in between, where if asked on an earnings call, yeah, they'll say like, oh yeah, as far as OMI, here's what we have, blah, 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 blah. And it's probably somewhere along those lines. I'll probably mention it. When, I don't know. Foster is active on socials every now and then. So they're still working, like they're still doing stuff. We're not 100% sure what that is, because a lot of stuff they don't really like to talk about until it's ready to go. So it doesn't really make sense to kind of tease someone, 6 months out. And I'm not saying there'll be an update in 6 months, but just figure of speech there. So that's just kind of my 2 cents on it. Smartbar saying, where that? Kuma saying, what up, fam? What's going on, Kuma? Says, Randy, don't sell the Akomi coin. You also said it's a keeper. Why listed at floor? I think it's very rare. There's very few of those out there. I think like only half of them minted, about 250. So I think it's something that people will probably want in the future. But as I said, I've spent about 20 million OMI recently, and I'm just trying to get some of it back. Like, I was able to buy a little bit of OMI today on the dip, but I just, and again, like, I bought it today. So hold on to that thought while I tell you that, I put like $1,000 into crypto recently. Only 250 of it went into, or today I put it in, 250 went into OMI, 750 went into Definity. Because again, I've been, I had up to 320 million OMI. Now I have 300. So I really want to get a little bit of that back. And 300 is fine. Like that's a decent amount. But I want to get to 1 billion. And I have multiple ideas on how to do that, but it's going to be, one, it's hard because I'm on Stacker all the time, just looking for value in a bunch of these comics. And I don't have to sell the Akomi coin, but I already filled out the list. Like I already filled out the thing that says like, okay, like, hey, you're getting your physical coin. So I already filled it out, so I don't really need to keep it. I have the Akomi logo still, obviously. The Akomi logo is the secret rare. Like that group, you need to have the secret rare logo in order to be in that group with me and Sanjay. So I can like never sell that. But the stuff you get from that, again, just to get a little bit more OMI. I mean, I have 3 partner statues. I want another one, but instead of putting in another, but I want more OMI. So, you know, I could maybe sell one. I mean, I am up on the partner statues, but yeah, that's probably going to be something that I might get one more of, because I think, again, that's one of the most important NFTs out there. But for the Akomi coin, again, I got the physical out of it. I mean, having the Akomi secret rare logo is great because you get to be in that group. But then it's like, hey, you get this coin, you do have to pay for it. No problem, $65, not like no problem. And look what you get for it. You get a digital and you get a physical, which both of them are worth more than what you paid for. And it's like, okay, that's fine by me. But yeah, I'd rather be adding to the reserve and not taking away from it.
On the shelf or in a box.
Okay, we got a new video from VeVe that just popped out.
VeVe, your collectibles don't just sit on a shelf or in a box. They go wherever you go. And you can bring them to life in augmented reality. Just open up the VeVe app and tap the AR button at the bottom of the screen. Tap AR again to view your collection and choose a collectible. Once you've found a suitable spot, scan the environment and tap your screen. You can reposition, rotate, and resize your collectibles. And when you've found the perfect angle, capture a photograph or video with your favorite character that can be shared with your friends. And that's not all. You can use an empty showroom.
Okay, so they're talking about the showrooms and stuff. I assume VeVeverse as well. That obviously most people here are going to know exactly what that is, but I think that video was made for some of the people that just are not here yet, because as the thumbnail, I don't even know if this is the correct thumbnail, but you have 2,000 new users this past month, 300 this past week, 300 the week before, 100-ish the week before that, and then 1,600 the week before that. So again, over the past 4 weeks, 2,000 new users. Where are those new users coming from? The new users, I would say, let me get VeVe back up there. 3 different places they're coming from. Either old people that were here years ago. You know, a lot of the OMI price went down, the collectibles price went down. They sold everything and then went away, and now they're coming back. That's one group of people that it is. Another group of people are people that like, hey, what is this VeVe? They come in and they immediately buy a collectible, whether it's from my link. And if you're new here, link down below. In order to sign up for VeVe, you get 10 free gems. And if you use them in the store, I get money. If you don't, if you just want to use them on the market, it's fine. It doesn't matter. Honestly, VeVe would probably prefer you use them on the market, because this way they don't have to they don't have to go in and pay for it. Like if you use it in the store, okay, those 10 gems, now we have to pay whatever licensor was from the store, you know, $10. But if you use it on the market, then they don't have to do that, because, you know, it goes to someone else. Now, granted, those people that have the gems, they might have to use it on the store eventually anyway, but they don't have to pay out, which is nice. The second group of people are people that would have been like me in 2021, where I joined the app in February of 2021, but I didn't really make any purchases until like April. I was covering OMI token and talking about the VeVe collectibles. People can buy this, they could buy that, but I never actually bought anything for like the first month that I had it. I think I got in February 27th, 2021. Didn't buy anything until like April, and then obviously the rest from there is history. It was a good year. That was good stuff. But yeah, so that's where you have those 3 people coming in. People that had made an account, didn't buy anything, and then they're coming in now. Now they're starting to buy. We have, we'll call him Will, because I can't remember his X username because it's insane. He goes and comments, new users spending their free $10 doesn't help us. How many are adding in new capital to the VeVe ecosystem is what matters. I agree 100%. Although maybe 99%, because I do have a retort here saying, agreed. When I first joined in February 2021, I didn't put in any money. I didn't start putting in any serious money until April. We've got to give them some time. He responds saying, well, you're a crypto and NFT investor. Most likely they are not. And how many are just free floating heads? We need a better way to track useful information on the ecosystem is all I'm saying. Maybe accounts with over 10 collectibles is a better number we should track. So just to push back on here a little bit, I wasn't really a crypto or NFT investor. Like my first foray into NFTs was I saw a video. This guy I used to work with, like, you know what an NFT is? Like, no. I was like, yeah, it's this weird thing. There's like, they're not real, but they're these like, and they was talking about NBA Top Shots. So I see a video on NBA Top Shots, and the guy was calling it a scam. He's just like, what's the difference between, you know, this this moment and this moment? They're the exact same. People are saying because it's, you know, of the mint number, but it's all a scam. They're the exact same thing. And I'm like, wait a minute. No. There's something here. So any discerned investor will go in and be able to say, like, determine, even if something is pitched as a scam or it's pitched as something that's uncouth or not right, you're going to be able to tell, like, wait, there's something there. Again, I wasn't an NFT investor. I collected Pokemon cards. I was in Earth2 as digital land, but at the time there weren't NFTs in Earth2. Obviously they went on the blockchain eventually, but at the time there was nothing on the blockchain. So I'd never really done that. And then I had some Bitcoin back in the day, which honestly, as of right now, is probably the same amount. Like, you know, I think it was at 60 something K. It's at 68K now. So I had some Bitcoin, and that was it. So I wouldn't really call myself a crypto or an NFT investor at that time. And then he asked, yeah, how many are here just for the free floating head? Yeah, when we had 1,600 new users, that was more because Yahoo Finance picked us up, and they're just like, hey, Orange Cloud doing this reverse merger with VeVe, and everyone's like, what the heck's a VeVe? So we had 1,600 new people that week, probably from that. But yeah, how many are here for the free floating head? Yeah, probably a couple hundred. I don't know how many of those were actually minted, or I shouldn't say that. They were all minted, but I don't know how many were actually claimed, because they're all minted, but then they have to be, you know, given out to people. That and that's the other thing. So they did, I think, fairly well in LA. When they get to New York, we'll try to get a group of people to go. But as of right now, in LA, they did fairly well. They'll probably go into New York, London, Paris, making it a little bit of money. And again, I'll try to buy them on Amazon, wherever I can buy them tomorrow, just to support them. But this is a really fun idea, and I told them, like, even if it's not like a huge hit, I'm gonna want to help fund like their second movie. Because one, I want to act in it, and two, because everyone seems super cool. Like, they seem super chill. Like, I remember there's a buddy of mine that had he had to coach a little league team for some freaking reason. I don't know why. And he just, like, there were some coaches and there were some people like, okay, you play this position this time, you know, and they were just a little hardcore for like a little league team. And he's just like, listen, I don't say I want to do this again next year, but if I do, I want you guys are just chill. Everyone that I had interviewed from this movie, and they're actors, so maybe they were just acting chill, maybe they were acting cool, but they seemed pretty chill. And the two people I had on today, you know, we had a great conversation where I think only half the time we talked about the movie. The other half we talked about aliens and autism and telepathy tapes on Netflix, you know, cool stuff. So I kind of want to do that. Anyway, 10 GSWBK says, maybe accounts with over 10 collectibles is a better number we should track. Because then you know it's not just a one-off thing. They're not here just for a collectible, or that they spend their 10 free dollars and they go away. That would be a good idea. It would be easier if we could tell the active daily users, but as of right now, CollectChain does not give a CSV file, so there's no way to tell. It would be good to see that as well, not just wallets with one collectible in it, but maybe wallets with 10 plus. So that's my ideas. Moving on. Is DEVVE done for? No tweets in Sandroid. No, that's ridiculous. They're doing quite well. The company is doing well. The token is just that just got shit on. Excuse my language. I know VeVe has reposted this, so I'm going to try to cool it with the cursing here. Yeah, no, the token just took an absolute beating. Like, it just got up the poop chute, no Vaseline. Like, it just it's depleted. Will that change? Yeah, absolutely. ETH going down didn't help. The hack going down didn't help. The way everything went down did not help the token at all, and the people are just like, yeah, we're done. But the company itself doing fairly well. They're running very lean. They could run essentially forever. And then Tom going out and raising funds for both DEVVE and FIAS, and apparently he's got some help with that. And apparently it's going okay. I don't want to say too much. I haven't sold any of my DEVVE. I haven't picked up any more. But that's more because of limited funds right now. It's not from me not wanting to. In the next couple months, I was gonna possibly get something this month, but lining up a buyer for an illiquid asset is taking some time. But I should get a decent check within 60 days, and then yeah, 20K of it will go into crypto, and then the rest will just kind of stay with me, just maybe for a rainy day. Now, that being said, it's very possible that, you know, this is the bottom. Maybe it's not. I'm actually leaning towards the possibility that it's not. The Iran war drags on a little while. The Clarity Act still isn't passed yet. Jerome Powell's still in office. Probably have a couple of months before things are ready to go up. So in that time, yeah, anything can happen. You could see Bitcoin at 50K. You could see ETH at 1,200. You could see maybe 1,500. Like Solana fell down below $85 today. You could see that at, you know, $50. And what happens with alts when that goes down? Yeah, everything is going to go down with it. Everything could take another 50% haircut. Or, so again, that would be great, because then I get my money and I just go ham on everything. Some of my money. But the opposite could happen as well. In a couple weeks, Iran war could be over. They could just submit, because Trump's very, very good at using AI. Again, in Venezuela, just in and out in hours. El Mencho, they didn't have any boots on the ground. No American lives are at risk. But with this, yeah, I killed a bunch of the top brass. Their chain of command has to be completely in shambles. Like, there's no way they're running efficiently. Just coming from like the best military in the world. Yeah, there's no way that second-rate country's military that it was not great to begin with. There's no way you take out the top like 30 leaders and stuff's not insane. But I think that there's a possibility it's over in a couple weeks, and then maybe it starts to go up before me, before I can get those funds. But again, when Tom is raising money for FIAS and DEVVE, like, these are very fundable companies. I don't want to say, if you're somebody that only invests in like Web2 stuff, it's like, yeah, my specialty is like car washes or mattress stores or whatever. So something that generally like prints money. You're probably not going to be interested in anything AI. But if that's your wheelhouse, if that's what you're investing in, which a lot of VCs are, yeah, it should be pretty simple. So I haven't bought any new DEVVE in a little while. I will when some money comes in. But right now, Again, I only bought $250 worth of OMI today. I did buy $750 worth of Definity because, again, Definity's cash cow. They're crushing it. And it's just not, the token is not reflective of that at all. Obviously, the DEVVE token is reflective of the health of the DEVVE company as well. Neither is OMI for the health of VeVe. Really any FIAS, same thing. daCat's probably the one that's like, okay, the market cap and the health of the token is probably similar to the market cap and health of the daCat Chronicles IP, of which I own. 14 FU F9H saying, do you think we go in another bear market back to back? Would DEVVE survive? Can the company hold on and continue to raise capital for the project? I have a good amount in DEVVE and want to see it do well. We could be in another bear market. This could last another 2 years, 3. I don't know. Like, we've never seen anything like this before. It could last 5 years. I doubt that, but you know, I mean, you have to be prepared for every situation. You hope for the best, prepare for the worst. But as long as you have contingencies, okay, what happens if this crazy down market lasts another 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 18 months? You know, like, you have to have it for each scenario. And yeah, that, like, the way I prepare for it is going to be different from the way everyone else prepares for it, as it should be, because we're all in different scenarios. Would DEVVE survive? As long as I get funding, yeah, there's no reason not to. And again, the funding, that would be I guess the linchpin, because yeah, if any company doesn't get funding, they're not going to survive. But I'm betting that it does. If I saw any weakness, if I saw any reason for me to be scared, I would dip out. I'd be like, guys, I'm done. But I'm not. Again, I haven't sold any, haven't bought any recently. That will change in the next, hopefully, 60 days. As long as the token stays down here, or it's a little above here, I don't mind getting at even like 10 cents. But obviously getting down at like 4 or 5 cents would be ideal. Can the company hold on, continue to raise capital for the project? Yeah, it should be easy. Have a good amount in DEVVE and want to see it do well. Same. Although, not going to lie, putting 70K into it when it was like 30 cents, it would have been much easier to put that 70K down here. But you know what? We all make mistakes. Smart buys a stacker, swap 1-inch Uniswap, charging too much for swap. Earlier, it was a 1-to-1 ratio. What is it charging now? No, I'm swapping $575 worth of OMI for $574 of USDC. So that I think is very appropriate. It might depend on what country you're in, or maybe it's just because you're swapping from OMI to USDC. Maybe if you swap from the USDC to OMI, it's different. But I did that today and it was fine. I think for $250, I got $249 worth of OMI. So I'm good. I know others might not be that good, but I was. Also, who the fudge? Okay, there we go. If you can send me like a screenshot of what it's charging you, that would be great. Brett 1524, stop investing crypto, bud. Gambling needs to stop. I do like gambling, but I mean, you could like gamble or invest like in meme coins, right? And that's horrible. But cryptos are essentially just early stage startups, and as long as the company's good, you're fine. Again, it's very wild swings, so you don't you have to have the stomach for it. But again, as long as you're investing in solid stuff, it's fine. Mostly, not financial advice. 14 FU F98 saying, if we end up being here for the next 3 years, do you think DEVVE's utilities could survive and potentially have other companies doing similar or better and flush DEVVE out? Just a scenario. Yeah, I mean, DEVVE's had this sharding technology for years, and they have it all patented as well. So even if somebody else was as smart as Tom and specialized in the same thing that hit one, they wouldn't, because he already has the patents for it. But so if you're as smart as Tom, you're not going to try to do the thing that he's already done, because again, he has the patents for it. So that'd be stupid. You could maybe try to use the patents and he'd make you pay for them. You know, that's a possibility. But and again, there's more that, like, what does Vegeta say when he's asked about becoming a Super Saiyan? And Krillin's like, I thought you had to be pure-hearted like Goku. And then Vegeta's like, afraid not. There's more than one way to reach the goal. Like, there might be more than one way to get the sharding technology done. Call it a different thing, do a different spin-up, develop your own blockchain. But again, if somebody's already done what you've done, there's no sense. Like, there's an episode of House where he's like working with this janitor. He was from Harvard. He's like, I've heard every lecture multiple times. Like, he's just as smart as House, and that's why he eliminates him. And he finishes House sentence. He's like, you don't need two of the you don't need two of the same person. And you know, he leaves. You need someone that is different from you. So there's no reason why anyone would try to replicate what Tom's done. One, because of the patents. Two, because it's going to be near impossible. And three, because if it does the same exact thing as DEVVE, people are just going to use an established blockchain like DEVVE. So I would say maybe they, again, you have contingent transaction sets, you have T+0 settlement time. There's no way. There's just no way that gets disrupted. Unless you do some type of weird quantum entanglement where you actually receive the funds before somebody sends them, which sounds insane, but shit gets weird when you go quantum. Yeah, so I don't see them being disrupted in that way. Brett says, how best? Well, it says, for 500, show me 486 USD to OMI, and it's the best I've got since multiple tries. Sorry. Can I? Oh God, I can't. White House posted something, and I guess Beerus is in there from Dragon Ball Z. Thanks, Omar. There's so many messages. I'm not gonna get to these tonight. I'll have. Can you tell me what country you're in? Because I am curious to see if it's different by country. U.S. over here, obviously. But yeah, we don't have a. I don't know if it's different by country, or maybe the network is clogged. I'm not sure. Wes saying 3.2 million from DevStream is supposed to buy back DEVVE over the course of 3 years. Now it's not happening. The thesis has changed. The thesis is the same. You raise money and you continue to build with your stock exchange partner, with your own exchange, with everything else that you're doing, website and stuff, obviously. But again, the thesis remains the same. It's just that you had a hiccup. You just had a delay in what went down, which I'm not going to lie, for a startup is kind of par for the course. So again, I'm pretty chill with it. Everyone else had knee-jerk reactions. And again, that shows you the discerned investors from the people that have never invested before, which is fine. And sometimes it's people that just, they put in money that maybe they didn't have, or they put in money that they shouldn't have, and then it doesn't work out, and then it's like, shit, now I'm stuck. And again, that happens to the best of us. But again, that's no fault of DEVVE. That just happens to be one of the things that happen with startups, upstarts, and all that. The 14U F98 thoughts on Dfinity for the end of this year. Next year, if we start going up again, I've gone over these numbers in my head quite a bit. Actually, only down 1% on the day. So there was a wallet that had a ton of Dfinity in it that has been selling a bit. 1,500 here, 1,800 there. They had like 700 this morning that they put in, and that was the last that they had in their wallet. So that there's going to be no more sell pressure from that wallet. You could always get other whales that get liquidated. Always get other whales that they've reached their peak frustration and then they sell. And despite, and you can see all the red candles, and like most of the red candles, the last, why can't I? There we go. Most of the red candles the last few days have been because of that person, which, you know, can no longer do it now. So the price should be able to go up, but again, we're paired with ETH, and let's say ETH goes down another 5%. Even if you do like a $500 buy, the price is going to go down because, again, the pairing, although not that much, there's only $53,000 in liquidity here. It is split perfectly, though. $26,000 in Definity, $26,000 in Ethereum. So, you know, that's cool. They might add a little bit to that at some point. They might not. The volume on it, $2,500. But if you go to CoinGecko, you actually see, where are we here? $97 on PancakeSwap, and then $78,000 over on MEXC. I'm gonna guess that's some type of bot aggregator thing, because there's no way there's $78,000 worth of volume on there. But you know, coolio. So again, I do think about this a lot because I have a decent amount of the token, like 1% of the supply, but I own a decent amount in the company behind it, in Bloomsbury Money, you know, their sister company, and the growth that again, the company's health, like they have the heart of a horse, of a champion. The health is perfect. And let's say we're doctors and we get, let's say, bonused on not by how, let's say we get bonused on how well our patients recover, on the improvement of health on our patients. And the two companies, DMA Link and Bloomsbury Money, their health is already really freaking high. And yeah, you can always get better. As Vince LaSalle once said, you can improve on perfection. But Definity, though, that's attached to them in every single way. They're their main utility. Definity is the main utility tokens for both of those companies. And, you know, haven't really had buybacks yet. We haven't had. So, okay, if then we decide to take a look at Definity as a patient, and it looks like heck, right? It looks like, okay, done nothing but go down the last few years, same as most other tokens. But the companies behind them are great. It's like there's this disconnect. What happens once you reconnect them? What happens once everyone is aware that the connection is insanely strong? Suddenly the good health of the companies go into the token, and it goes insane. Now, that being said, you can always go lower, right? Bitcoin, ETH go down, the war drags on, Clarity Act is delayed, Jerome Powell somehow stays in office, like whatever. You can always go down further. Now, at a penny, at a $1.6 million market cap, I should put in more now. But I want to wait because maybe it goes down to half a penny would be under $1 million market cap. That'd be insane. Let me see what the actual market cap is. It's 1.5 million. God, we get 750,000. Like, oh, that is so nuts. Now it's not public on what these other companies are valued at. You know, Bloomsbury, DMA Link. But I will say that one of Definity's DMA Link's competitors last year was bought up for a very nice, very, very, very nice dollar amount. And we're not at that level yet, but I think at some point we will be, and it's just going to be insane. And I think the token will reflect part of that. And for me, this is my, let's say, swan song. What's the one where you have like after your masterpiece? I'm not in the art world as much to be able to get the reference. I'm gonna have to look it up. I'm sorry. Piece after the masterpiece. No, No. What comes after the masterpiece? They're gonna show it as like a series here. Rivers. I don't know who that is. Okay. And anyway, whatever comes after your masterpiece, that's what this is for me. Up until I get back into Pokemon cards. $100 million market cap, which is honestly not that big. 100 million divided by 1.5 million. So that's a 66x from here. 66x from here and $100 million. So let's pretend that that is going to be exactly right, which it's not going to be. But you put in $1,000 now, and whenever we go up, and let's say to 100 million, you get $66,000. Again, that's a very that's maybe if we go to the tippy top, it could be $1 billion market cap one day. In which case, it's 666x from here. Sign of the devil. Maybe not a good omen. It's impossible to tell where we go. I think you could justify a 50 million, $100 million market cap, but it's not about what we justify. It's about how violent the swing is to the upside. Because I'm telling you right now, there is zero reason we should be. I mean, we can tell the reasons why we're down here, right? It's nobody knows about the connect between the token and the companies. Nobody knows what they're making. So right now it's like Schrodinger's token. Like, well, are they making like? We can have an estimate because Manu had said they are doing six figure. They were doing 6 figures a month last year, and December was their biggest month ever, and then January was the biggest month ever. And February wasn't the biggest month ever, but still, when you have 2 back-to-back best months ever in a row, you can't just keep on doing that. So let's say we're somewhere in the 6 figures, gross each month. Because that's what Manu had told us last year. And let's say at some point this year, they get, Manu's goal is $1 million a month. Again, that they're grossing. We can assume that at some point they'll probably hit that this year. In which case, the end of 12 months, let's say they do, $12 million, and let's say they do a 30x multiple, it's $360 million. Like that's again, that's reflective of the health of the company. But the tokens, they're never valued correctly. I've said it before that crypto is a very inaccurate weighing system where it's usually either valued too low or too high. Right now, a lot of cryptos are valued way, way too low. I think Definity, OMI, DEVVE, FIAS, daCat. daCat might actually be kind of where it should be right now. As far as the IP goes, based on what we can justify. Because like, again, right now, like Definity, that we can confirm, that Manu confirmed is grossing well into the 6 figures every month. daCat, we're pre-revenue. Like, we haven't done any of that yet. But Definity is only 2x the market cap of daCat. Like, fucking what? One company grossing 6 figures a month, multiple 6 figures a month. daCat, pre-revenue. So no money per month yet. Updates on this. But then you have that one company is only worth twice the market cap of daCat. Where on God's green earth does that make sense? It doesn't. Hyping myself up here. I am hyping the heck out of myself up here. But again, like, why does this happen? It happens because on the Definity side, way too low. Nobody knows what's going on. With the company, Manu, for all the amazing things that goes on with him, some is very not good at communicating with the people. He's never in the Telegram chats. And so again, people feel like there's a little bit of a disconnect there. When I'm in the Telegram chats more than Manu. But then for daCat, they are just you have this group of people, like this ragtag group of people, me included, that just don't sell. Like you just they just continue. There's continuous buy pressure, and everyone is so like. Let's go to the tape. So very small amount of volume today, literally $100, up a third of a percent. So I'm not even going to count that, but over $700,000 market cap. And again, the liquidity, you know how the liquidity for DEFINITY was. Oh, give me one sec. Whenever is most convenient for you. What was it saying? Shit, sorry. Yeah, DEFINITY's liquidity pool, $52,000 in it, split $26,000 in DEFINITY, $26,000 in Ethereum. Cool. daCat's is 200,000, and it's locked for 997 years. $104,000 in daCat, $104,000 in Ethereum. And again, it's locked for 997 years. That cannot be taken out. We've been, was it hackable? Whatever they're called. Like we're good. Like it's impossible to be hacked. Because again, the contracts are renounced. It's locked there. And you have the people there that just buy and don't sell, most of them. And then just look at, like, okay, a day ago we had $6 in a sale, and then $52 before that. But the rest of them they're just buys, and it's people that are like just a lot of random different people, and a lot of the same people too. And then you have so 57 cents. And again, because it's so strongly paired with ETH, that, as ETH goes up, so will daCat, because it again, there's $100,000 or $104,000 worth of ETH in that liquidity pool that cannot be taken out. I mean, if you have like a bunch of people, like everyone sell daCat, then yeah, it gets taken out. But a lot of times ETH just really gets added in. So we're $200,000 liquidity when ETH is there at $1,900. What happens when we go back to 400, or when we go back to 4K? Probably going to go up to 400,000 plus, yeah, in liquidity, with over $200,000 in ETH there, and the market cap will be 1.5 million. Like, ETH can go up. Like, there's a very real possibility that the market cap of daCat actually surpasses the market cap of DEFINITY in the short term. And if we want to be honest, like if DEVVE keeps going down, it could do that over DEVVE as well. And the technology for DEVVE is just insane. Okay, well, what else does daCat have going for it? Obviously me. Again, I'll say this: the Mr. Beast has the #1 chocolate bar in the world, and it's not good. Like, it's not a good tasting chocolate bar. I've tasted some very bad things in my life. It's not like it's still like, okay, I'll eat it if there's nothing else around. Why is it the #1 chocolate bar in America? Because he's got 1 billion followers. Now, again, daCat is made up of a great team, and I'm just lucky to be a small part of it. But yeah, there's a lot of people that are there because of me, and that are just like, yeah, I trust you, Randy. I'm buying this. Like, okay, well, now I have to make it successful. All right, Omar, I see you. Let me get to the. Oh, so Nintendo just posted a little video, and then who do we see there? It's Omar. Yo, that's amazing. So Nintendo in the US posted a little video, a little picture. Nintendo New York, and then Omar with the VeVe hat. Let's go. That's great. Love that. Great stuff. We love Omar. Shoot. And then, yeah, we have a comic update as well. As long as the artist accepts everything I just submitted, it's going to be 80 pages. It's pretty good. And honestly, and again, I was working on the second one today, even though it's already done. I just have to edit it. Everyone's going to be very, very happy. It's going to make a lot of money. I will submit it to VeVe and get David and Dan's official approval. I already sent David like the first 65 pages. He loves it. Granted, he loves everything. So don't take that as like the, you know, the test. Oh, David loves is going to do great. Like he loves everything. Where you're probably going to get the best reaction, the best feedback is going to be from Sleepin'. Because I feel like Sean from Comics and Crypto, he might be like similar to David, where he'll be excited, be like, oh, this is cool, even if it sucks, right? Sleepin' he'll give like the honest feedback and be like, Randy, some of these things I like. This is interesting. I didn't expect this, but yeah, most of this is trash. Like he will give me the honest feedback. The honest feedback I think I'll get from him is like, Randy, this is wild. Maybe it's a little too confusing for some people. You have an insane amount of character introductions, but there's 80 pages to get to know them, and you get to know a lot of them very well. And it's like people might get confused about maybe the mollusks look a little too similar. And the world's like, you know, this is a lot to take in. Like it's a big universe. There's like 6 planets that are featured. Like it doesn't just take place on Cat World. There's Cat World, there's Dog World, there's Mollusk World, there's Human World, there's Bird World, Sharby World. And there's other worlds out there that aren't even mentioned in this, and we see them in later books. It's great. So I think the feedback might be like, hey, there's just a lot going on here, and there is. It's like these could be like 4 separate comics if you want. It's like, yeah. But then the last like 10 pages, just like battle. Like it's really freaking good. And then again, some speeches are just like, Randy. And then there's a twist. I'm not going to say what it is. I don't think anyone will be able to figure it out. And if you rush through it, you might even miss it. But yeah, it's like, what? Wait, what? And it's going to make people feel a certain type of way. And I can't wait. The artist doesn't even know yet. He's yet to read it. Anyway, take it, RB. Give me those thumbs up. Meow, meow. Can AI just build what DEVVE already has? Sure, but again, it's all patented. So good luck. Good luck using it. What price of OMI if we get Pokemon? Oh, God. $5x overnight. I don't know. Everyone would come. Like you'd have a huge pump on that news. It would at least triple, because again, down here it's so freaking low. 30, but again, it's still at a $30-something million market cap. Either way, I want to buy so much more, but I don't have the will to. Oh my gosh, it's hysterical. VeVe, okay, very good. Shout out to Space Penguin for always replying and shouting us out. We love Space Penguin. He's great. And that comic's going to be really dope also. Space Penguin comic is going to be incredible. I can't wait for everyone to read that. The Space Penguin comic ends and it goes right into daCat number 3. Like the ending of Space Penguin 1 goes right into daCat number 3, right in the middle. And it's like, oh my God, it's so cool. And then it also goes into Nike the Pig 1, which goes right into DigiJoints. It's really good. It's really fun. But the price that we get Pokemon, it's going to at least triple. If we get Pokemon, triple it. Again, just on that announcement, because it and then once you get the amount of users that come on from Pokemon, we'll get 1 million users. Because even though most people would be like, ew, no digital, ill, no NFTs, there's enough people out there who'd be like, I see what's happening. And they're just going to buy everything. They're going to buy everything, and they're going to sit on it for 20 years because that's what happened the first time. And yeah, it's going to go hard. So that's what will happen if we get Pokemon. You'll have 1 million users. The burn will be insane, like, and they'll fall in love with other stuff. And it's just, there are some people that'll just be here for Pokemon. They won't care about anything else. Like in Pokemon, like I worked with people, consulted people that did not give a hoot about anything Pokemon. They pronounced it Charizard. Like they was the bastardization of the pronunciation of the names. I feel like after the age of like 50, your particular lexicon is like, it's done. Like you're not gonna learn any new names. But they would come in, spend $250,000, get the top of the top, and then leave. They'd come in from baseball, they come in from World War II stuff, they'd come in from like whatever it is, they'd buy the top of the top and then they leave. You'll probably get that with other Pokemon masters. They come in from Pokemon, cool, get a partners, Riso, Todd, Superman, gold logo, and they'll dip. I mean, you'll get the people that won't care about the other stuff, they'll just be here for Pokemon. You'll be people that get in Pokemon. Maybe they won't be able to get the top of the top, but they like the Kripkins, or they like, the Marvel Mighties, and they become collectors of that. Because the digital collecting is so powerful. Like, people are not going to, even if they don't want to admit it, it's a lot easier and a bit more fun to collect the digitals because you can have so much. There's no limit. Whether you're a kid whose parents say no, don't have room for it, or you're an adult and your wife says hey, no more room for this. The house is meant to be for whatever. Can't say nothing about digital collecting. Takes up no space in your house. They're not making any money is concerning. Well, it'd be concerning if they had put out a product and weren't making money. But when you're in the startup phase and there's no product out to make money, it's not concerning. Do you understand the difference? I hope I'm explaining that correctly. OMI still the best ROI. Very well could be. Very well could be the best ROI. Again, what are we at? 30. Let's take a look. We are at $31 million market cap, about to go into the 20s if OMI drops another 8%. So we'll see. He says OMI will see 3 cents. Yeah, I think that's possible. It's like a 250x from here, but yeah, I think that's possible. Narrative comes in, and there's a lot more established things here nowadays, and I think some of the things go insane. People will find value elsewhere. There's going to be a lot of new formulas out there that found the formula for undervalued comics right now, but that's going to change in the future as more and more people come in. That will change. And again, we had somebody buy 2 partner statues yesterday. I mean, there was 3 partner statues that were bought yesterday, but 1 was one, and then 2 were bought by the same person. Some guy in the gold logo group. Unsure why he did it, but he did. I mean, because it's a good deal. It's a good buy, in my opinion. Omar loves OMI saying, I had David and Dan shirt on too, made by O'Milly. That's pretty dope. Not gonna lie. Pretty sweet. HOTTOGO can make magnum opus. Oh my God, Roy G, you are the man. I'm not worthy. Okay, so what comes after your masterpiece is your magnum opus, like that. Oh my God, and Google was not helping me there. Google was not. It was giving me a masterpiece written by a Francine something. And it's like, what's the book that comes after that? And I was like, ugh. But yeah, that was. Thank you. Thank you so much. I was derping, I was tripping, and now I'm not. We're good. Yeah, that was great. Hats off to who is apparently the smartest in the room right now, because I could not remember that for the life of me. Who say Nike the Pig? Nike the Pig is going to be one of the greatest stories that you'll have read in a comic in an age, because it's very, very good. It is very, very good, and I can't wait to see that as like a one-off in an episode of an anime, or one, like, it's so freaking good. The cat number 2, like the cat number 1 is going to be so valid because it has so many first appearances. The cat number 2 has a couple first appearances, but it's just like, oh god, I was rereading it because I needed to edit some stuff. I'll just show you where I got edited, because again, the writing should be done with the first one, even though it has been multiple times. But listen, the first like 21 pages of daCat Volume 2 is just like, it reads like something that is so good, and there's no art here yet. It's just text, and it's like, bro, this is really good. I can't wait for people to read it. I can't wait for people to go in and I mean the first one, obviously. Where are we at here? It's not bad. So if we get Pokemon, only will 3x, with the rest collectibles will be 5 to 10x. I don't know about that. Not at. I think people might actually sell some of their stuff to get Pokemon. There might be a little bit of a gem squeeze there, OMI squeeze. But yeah, once we get a bunch of people in from Pokemon, they'll go after the Grails, because they know collecting. They know, and again, they'll go after the Grails. Give me one sec here. Spider-Man. Oh my god. The amount of women that text me at the most inopportune times. You'd think it was cool, and sometimes it is, but other times it is not. Boot says boomers hating on digital comic, womp womp. Boomers used to. Honestly, it's really like the kids. It's really like the people that are just like, oh, it's bad for the environment. They're just uninformed. The boomers used to hate the digital NFT comics, but now the boomers and Gen X are really like opening up to it. Like, okay, it's not encroaching on the physical. It's just a new way of collecting. Most people in that comic space have really come around to it. I don't give a hoot hoot. Oh, Hoot Hoot is a Gen 2 Pokemon. Ash got a freaking shiny Noctowl somehow. So Noctowl is the evolved form of Hoot Hoot. I love Hoot Hoot. Shoot. And collectibles look so. Oh my god, yeah. So we gotta go over that. I just another shout out to Roy G for knowing Magnum Opus. Like, I couldn't figure the name for that, and you got it. Like, chef's kiss. That was great. Anyway, Ang, yeah, we've got 2005 common, and then 205 secret rare. There are 70 that are going to be withheld, so 50 being withheld from the common, 20 from the secret rare. And here is your Ang Airbender, $40. It's a blind box, and I think right now, unfortunately, because of the amount of users that we have, Ang common will probably be like $20, $15 if it sells out. The secret rare, as he's like about to go in the avatar state, 185 of them, minimum 500, minimum $500. That's my theory there. Common Airbender Ang might be like 15 to 25. Ang is going to be $500 to $700 secret rare. Quote it. Somebody call me out on that. But yeah, they look great. Again, $1,000 bounty on Ang 2005. And I'm gonna wait until Comics and Crypto butts me out, because they're gonna have an insane bounty on theirs, because, well, they grew up around the same time I did, and they know the power of Bang. Metaverse, anything changed with DEVVE? It's so damn low. We went over this before a little bit. I'll just do it again here real quick. Fundamentally, nothing has changed. It's just that they still have a partnership with the stock exchange. It did get delayed by a bit because some funding didn't come in. So they're working on raising funding, get everything back on track. It is going to be delayed by a while, though. I don't know how long. I guess it depends how well the fundraising goes. Could happen really quick, but I mean, these things with these big companies, there tends to be a bit of red tape. I still say they have the announcement at some point this year. You know, we'll see when. 14U F9A says, how has your life changed? Your life changed since the fridge days? Quite a lot. 2021, 2022. Because yeah, in 2020 I was still at my friend Mark's, and I was 2020 was the best and worst year of my life. Worst because a pandemic. I lost my body. Like, because in New York, gyms are just shut down. New York handled it horribly. New York is a shithole. But and I lost a fudge ton of money with high risk lending because nobody could work because the government was being gay. And but I met this one girl, call her Ari, and my God, that was one of the best summers of my life. Probably spent $10,000 in hotels and booze and other stuff, but oh my God, that was probably like one of the best summers of my life. It was like the best of times and the worst of times. There's a buddy of mine that had she was security forces in the Air Force, and she had a bit of a rough time separating. She had a rough time inside also. She had some things that happened that were not that chill. But then separating was like worse. Long story short, I have to like take her to the VA, and I didn't know how to like help her talk to someone. She barely talks to me. She talks to me, but it's hard to get stuff out of her. It's like, yeah, let's just take a drink. So we're like in my car, have like Johnny Walker Blue, getting her like, okay, now she's gonna be able to talk a little bit to the people in mental health. And one of the first things I asked her, when was the last time you had alcohol? She's like, I don't know, 5 minutes ago. And I was like, oh, Tara. And they're like, what? And like you need to sober up. Like, no, I'm fine. We only had like a few. And Brenda, it was like 9 a.m. Go over the thing. Well, long story short, she gets like admitted. What were those like 3-day grippy sock vacations in the VA? I visit her the next day. She had this one. I don't know why she was special, and she got like a nurse all to herself. Come in, Ari. And I was like, hey, how's she doing? And she's like, she's fine. I was like, okay, cool. We hit it off, and Kara's a little salty at me for that, but we go out, and we, God, what did we do? I remember I didn't know where, like, hey, do you want to like try to go to like round one? Round one is like this kind of like Jillian's or Dave and Buster's type of thing. We can do that. It might be raining. You can come here, or we could just have some drinks and go to a hotel. I threw a Hail Mary, and she caught that Hail Mary. She's like, yeah, might as well go to a hotel. I was like, it's in. I think 3 minutes into that, we're horizontal, and that was, again, just a fantastic like 6 months. Then I start dating Danielle towards the end of that year, and that's when I had to move. I think in February of 2021. I'm with Danielle, but I get my own place because she's in Brooklyn, and Brooklyn sucks. Brooklyn is cool, but it sucks to get there. The Bell Parkway is the worst piece of highway I've ever seen in a state, and I refuse to ever drive there again. But so that was the fridge days, and dating Danielle for like year and a half, 2 years. We break up on the Vader drop. That was rough. That like, she's always like, you're always too much, always with the VeVe. And she's like, what are you doing? And I was like, you'll see Darth Vader's dropping right now. And she's like, this is what I need. And I was like, I'm sorry, it's Darth Vader. I had to get him, and I did, and it was great. That was like sad times. But since then I moved in with my friend Meg and Nick for like a year and a half, 2 years. And I got pregnant, which we were all very excited for. And then I moved out, and well, that's as far as living situations go. Obviously, Dashi's with me all the time. I got my body back a couple of times. I've been yo-yoing with the weight for a while, but then my back, I was on the couch for like 15 months. Like, I couldn't do anything. I was essentially paralyzed. It sucked. I had a couple bulging discs. I have the x-rays over there. It was like, I thought like, okay, this is my new normal. I'm just Charles Xavier. I'm just paralyzed. It's only gonna get worse. Despite everything that the VA tried, the VA just wanted to cut me up. Like, yeah, just do surgery. And I just told the guy, like, listen, sir, I don't know where you went to school, but you're at the VA. It looks like to me you're in your 40s. Like, oh, thank you. I guess he was in his 50s. I was like, you're at the VA, and you're not. You didn't even look at the fucking X-ray. You're just like, yeah, we're just gonna cut you up. We're just gonna, surgery. And it's like, the VA is known for not having, like, it's known for having the worst healthcare, like, ever. And I was just like, I'm at the top of my career field, and like, and he's just like, and he was chill about it. He's like, well, you don't have to get the surgery. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to. Chiropractors that were doing insane stuff. And the thing that helped me get back like 80% of my mobility was an inverter, a table where you just hang by your ankles, and like that's what gave me back like 80% of my mobility. That was insane. Will I ever be in like fighting shape again? Probably not. Will I ever? Am I eligible to go back in the military? Also, probably not. I could sit at a desk. That's probably about it. But I've had a fair amount of girlfriends since then. One fairly recently. And if you're a dude, go make a YouTube channel. Find your niche. Lean into what makes you different. And the girls just start coming. Like, it's like, again, when I was younger, I was pretty good looking. I had the body, I just the cut face, obviously now a little more chunk. I had more hair, I was just bigger muscles, less fat, but now that I'm older, fatter, and have less hair, and I'm just arguably worse looking in every way, I've never had an easier time with girls. Like the last half a decade, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, the last half a decade, I've never had it easier with women. Like it's like a cheat code. It's like playing a video game on easy mode. Shit, I did not mean to X out of all those notifications. RIP. So that helped. And then, millionaire at 30, lose like pretty much all, like I had 1.2 million, 1.3 million, maybe more. Lost from that. Again, most of that was just an OMI. Obviously lose over $1 million with that. I DCA'd on it. I bought a bunch of other stuff. DEVVE, FIAS, Definity, daCat. But through YouTube, I was like, okay, let's see how to play this out. And to play it out, just like, okay, raise some money on YouTube, and Sanjay's made his money back more than once via the YouTube channel. And the channel, last time I raised money, last year, was 400K valuation. I raise money again, it's going to be at an even higher valuation. Raised money for daCat last year at 150K valuation. Next time I raise money, it's going to be at a higher valuation. So those are my two little pet projects. But again, there's other companies that I was able to really work for and get shares in them, and it's like that's what I've been doing, like just grinding my butt off for years now, and hit millionaire again last year. Now, granted, it's with the shares of these companies that I own, like everything combined. So it's not like liquid in like my bank account. It's in illiquid shares from like most everything that I have. But within the next year, 18 months, that turns very liquid. And yeah, so honestly, daCat might be the biggest thing of all, because like for the YouTube channel, like there's only so many things that I can do. I can't make money in myself. I guess you can have shorts and stuff and all that, but daCat, I honestly think that could be the one thing that I'll get it to $1 million valuation for the IP. The token is going to do what it's going to do. Probably goes up first, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. But the IP is what I think I could actually build to a $10 million IP. As long as, again, I keep grinding on YouTube, I get more of an audience, I get people to buy the comic or comics, because again, building a whole half universe here. Getting an anime, getting merch, again, have the deal with Fig Pins, not signed yet, but formality. Obviously the deal with VeVe. That I think I can get to a $10 million valuation. It's gonna take several years, maybe. I mean, it might not. It might take maybe like 4 or 5. But I'm gonna say I'm not gonna be probably gonna be in my 40s by the time I reach a $10 million valuation, or maybe what? I don't know. But that's kind of what I've been doing. Not partying as hard anymore. Try not to drink as much, you know. Anyway, Booth saying, dude, Hoot Hoot used to be my favorite Pokemon. In Diamond, I got it to level up without evolving. Little brown ball. That's great. Hoot Hoot was cool. So every Pokemon generation has a bird. Actually, in first generation, you had Pidgeot, and then you had Pharaoh. Pidgeot was kind of the fan favorite because, you know, Ash's Pokemon. But Pharaoh was, you know, Drill Peck was pretty good. In Gen 2, it was Hoot Hoot and Noctowl, and Ash had a shiny Noctowl, which was dope. Gen 2, like, it's good because you can get it at night in the grass. Like in like the first route, you can get it at night. And it's really good for, because I think, does it know Gust or Peck? They changed Gust in Gen 2 so that it hits all the time, even if a opponent is flying, it hits. But Hoot Hoot gets, I think, Peck. So it gets a flying move before you go to Bellsprout Tower. When you go to Sprout Tower, like it just rolls through that. And then you're fighting, you know, Faulkner, and you know, he's got a flying type, so you're pretty evenly matched there. And then you go to Bugsy, that's the gym 2, and you can do really well Bugsy. Bugsy's a grass type gym. So yeah, Hoot Hoot can do really well, especially if you choose Totodile, because if you have Totodile, your what's called your rival is going to have Meganium, and Hoot Hoot does really well against Meganium because Meganium is a grass type. So Hoot Hoot can do really well in a lot of different battles. I wouldn't say so much on the Elite Four. Will has a couple of flying Pokemon, but he's ice type. You know, he's going to be really good against Hoot Hoot or Noctowl. But against, it's not Agatha in this one. Against Bruno, you know, you have the 3 fighting types that you're really good against because you're good against fighting. So he's got Hitmonchan, Hitmonlee, and Machamp. Do well against those. Onyxes, you'll need a little bit of help, or Hitmontop as well. Your Onyx you'll need a little help with. I think Karen from the Elite Four, you know, you have Vileplume that you could be good with, and then Murkrow. Murkrow's dark, but again, pretty even matchup. But yeah, I think Karen has Vileplume, and then Lance you're kind of hecked against because it's all just like Dragon and like maybe Charizard, you know, kind of neutral damage. But you know, Gyarados is hard. It's just a strong Pokemon. But again, a lot of the rivals and stuff you're good at. And then versus Red, your Pikachu will wreck Noctowl. But versus Red, Venusaur, you can get some good. Venusaur, he'll be good against him. And that's really about it. Anyway, Omar Loves Omi saying, we think we'll get the other 2 turtles from TMNT this month. Do we? Why do we think that? For some reason, I like Legend of Korra more than Avatar. My man! Maybe it was the way the story went. I think it's just because they're... So, Omar, I think we're at the same age. And Korra, she was just older. And they were able to deal with more adult things. They were able to deal with all that. And it was... And the older people, like so again, in Avatar, you have these like 12, 14-year-old kids learning from these like 80-year-old dudes. But in Avatar, you have these like late teens, early 20s, and they're learning from like these 50-year-olds. So you have benders that are kind of maybe not at their prime yet and a little bit past their prime, but they're much closer to their prime than you get, you know, in the OG Avatar. Ugh. So yeah, I like that as well. How long is the while for DEVVE? This year. I mean, I think we get that announcement this year at some point, maybe mid-year. I don't know. Bruno Rodriguez, I have 2 million OMI. When will I be set for life? I mean, let's say somebody mentioned there before that we might get to 3 cents. So if you have 2 million OMI, if we get to 3 cents, you'll have $60,000. Man, that's a good starting point. That's a really good starting point. Will you be set for life with that? No. I don't care where you are in the world. You're probably not going to be set for life with that. But I think that's a really good starting point. Okay. When you have 200, that's a lot. Metaverse says, come on, man. Roy G, give me the wink. Omar says, I love your honesty, Randy. Thank you. I try. Boo says, just because Cora's brown, rice, curvy potty. No, so I like white girls. I dated one brown girl. I've dated several. I've been in a relationship with one brown girl. I like white girls. All of my, aside from that, well, I guess, Shayla's black. Shayla was good. She was good looking. She was beautiful. But yeah, all of the rest of my girlfriends have really been white. Yeah, like the white chicks. Anyway, so I would take Asami over Korra, even though, you know, she is the Avatar, you know. But anyway, what we got here? Let's do FIAS. We haven't done FIAS yet. I'm good, yeah, I'm feeling alright, baby. I'ma have the best heckin' night. Oh my gosh, I can't. There we go. FIAS is down about 4% on the day, $1.9 million market cap. All right, let's do what we got here. I think we did all of these tokens, right? Yeah, we did them all. Let's get to some of the news. Do we have any articles to read? We might have one of those. Orange Cloud, let's do an update on that, what they did today. Today is Friday. They're down about 3.5%. Insane amount of money got wiped from the stock market this week, especially today. But Orange Cloud, yeah, still at $1.06, $6.19 million market cap. I'm gonna comment down 619. You know, Rey Mysterio. they'll that number will probably go up as the rest of the deal tends to take hold. I don't think there was any new articles today. There was not, so we're good there. That was the orange cloud. And again, Avatar, we went over that a little bit. Secret Rare, I think, will be 500 to 700. The common will be 15 to 25. That $1,000 bounty that I have is just going to be shareholders, okay. Grants and loans, okay, good. We talked about, I think, to death about the snap to location. I don't think I'm going to go live for that tomorrow. I have to take a friend to the airport in the morning. So I'm probably not going to go live for that because that does come out tomorrow at 11 a.m. And then we have more Running Mon on Sunday. And then Avatar on the 14th. There's definitely comics in between. There was... Oh, there's a... Oh, Uncanny X-Men #3 artwork. Greg Land, it's a 1 of 1. It's pretty dope. Magneto going crazy. And then you have Uncanny X-Men 1963. Gambit Secret Reveal. And we already have first appearance Gambit, so but then Avengers, first appearance of Wonder Man. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really know who he is, but Comics and Crypto was pretty excited about him, so might go for him. X19. Freaking love him. And then Avatar on the 14th. Okay, so we're good. We have a drop every 2 days or so. We'll be fine. Let's take a look at some of the news, shall we? Let's shall. Oh, you live in San Diego. Very nice. Very nice. All right, where was I? Do I go to Wednesday? Yep, Sunny D Vodka. I think I showed y'all. Goldman Sachs says that oil could rise to $100 a barrel if the Strait of Hormuz remains closed. It was like 91 today. BlackRock ETF bought $322 million worth of Bitcoin on March 4th. Kraken became the first crypto exchange to gain access to the Federal Reserve's core payment system. Affinity's crushing it. Spot Bitcoin ETFs recorded nearly 1.5 billion in net inflows over 5 days. Again, this was as of the 4th. Suddenly, perp traders woke up. Notional open interest on Binance's Bitcoin USDT perp is up 7,547 Bitcoin over the past 4 hours. Again, this was as of March 4th at 5:53 a.m. They've not seen 4-hour growth of a similar magnitude since 2023. Core Scientific sells $175 million in Bitcoin as AI pivot accelerates. Mara opens door to selling stockpiled Bitcoin in new policy shift. Deribit's flagship podcast, Crypto Options Unplugged, marks its 100th episode this week. CFTC chief. Selig to clear a path for the U.S. perpetual futures coming in weeks. 1-inch upgrade swap interface to offer higher speed and better user experience. Trump blasts banks for undermining Genius Act, demands Swift Clarity Act passage to lock in U.S. crypto dominance, warns industry will flee to China if banks prevail. Agreed. Retail investment in crypto and equities has shifted from a correlated trend to an inverse relationship since late 2024, where activity in one asset class now signals stagnation in the other. Indiana is going to enact a bill allowing crypto investments in retirement plans after the governor's sign-off. South Korean authorities settle on 20% ownership cap for crypto exchanges. And Kraken becomes the first crypto firm to win access to the Fed's core payment system, albeit it is limited. Bernie Moreno says Trump is exactly right. For the first time in decades, Wall Street is facing actual competition from financial innovators. Now they're relying on Washington insiders to shut out the pioneers, giving everyday Americans a seat at the table. Americans deserve a choice in how they invest and the returns they receive. They shouldn't have to depend on financial system designed for big banks decades ago. We're on the brink of financial revolution. The question isn't if this is happening, it's where. America can't afford to lose our spot at the epicenter of financial innovation by propping up an outdated system. On March 4th, 2015, I post, the moment when a former love interest announces they're pregnant and your stomach sinks to the floor and then you realize that you haven't slept with them in years and the biggest feeling of relief comes over you. Wild times. Shout out to DeLorean Time Machine. That is at level 72. Love Nancy Mace. Heck is happening. Trump says the U.S. needs to be dominant in crypto. I agree. Omar says we always have so many things in common, Randy. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Meow, meow, meow. When daCat tattoo. Okay, very good. Oh, very good. 40,000. Jesus. China orders its largest oil refiners to suspend diesel and gas exports as war in Iran escalates. BlackRock ETF has bought $306 million in Bitcoin, again, on March 4th at 11 at night. This Friday? Oh, I missed it. RIP. Backpack taps Superstate for IPO roadshow tokenization offering. Opens waitlist. DAT inflows in February slowed to 555 million, the lowest level since October of 2024. Crypto firm Zero Hash applies for a National Trust Bank charter. And VC giant A16Z crypto targeting around $2 billion for its fifth fund. That's bananas. Andreessen Horowitz is a beast. Spot Bitcoin ETFs achieved the same cumulative net flows in less than 2 years that took gold ETFs more than 15 years to reach. New York Stock Exchange parent company invests in crypto exchange OKX at a $25 billion valuation as part of push into blockchain-based stocks. Happy birthday, Carl Choi. The FBI arrests John DeGita, son of the U.S. government contractor, accused of stealing $46 million in crypto from the Marshals Service. Fudge. The IRS proposes letting crypto exchanges like Coinbase require electronic delivery of tax forms. Fine. There's a notable surge in public companies adding Bitcoin to the balance sheet in 2025. At 2024's close, 22 companies held 1,000 or more Bitcoin, having started to accumulate as early as Q4 2017. The total more than doubled to 49 by the end of 2025. Resident Evil Requiem got a 9.5. Expedition 33 was the last one to get it in 2025. Then the next one to get 9.3 was Metal Gear Solid in 1998. Silent Hill 2 in 2001 also got a 9.3, which matched Cory in the House 2007 with a 9.3. Cody Carbone from DC says in 2000, America had 8,315 community banks. Today, there are about 4,100. Blaming stablecoin rewards won't save them. Adapting might. Per reach, girl, per reach. Trump says to save the America Act, all voters must show voter ID. All voters must show proof of citizenship in order to vote. No mail-in ballots except for illness, disability, military, or travel. 4, no men in women's sports. 5, no transgender mutilation surgery for children without the express written approval of the parents. This is according to Truth Social. Bill Bullish, yes, 100%. Okay, we're going to go to Will Stewart here over on LinkedIn because he had a couple of things to post, and we're going to go over it. We're going to talk about it. All right, Will Stewart had a couple of posts here. Can I show all these posts? Okay. Jesus, he's got a bunch of posts. What the heck? Okay, let's go from, was this Northern Trust? No, this is from Cash Flow. All right, let's just go to Visa. Will Stewart says the next payment revolution where stablecoins meet networks. Major moves in payments. SoFi Technologies and MasterCard have partnered to enable settlement using SoFi USD stablecoin, while Visa expanded its stablecoin link partnership with Bridge, a Stripe company, to reach over 100 countries by year end. These are strategic movements by card networks rebuilding their core infrastructure around digital assets. Visa, SoFi, Bridge, MasterCard. Love it. Also, the financial world's heavyweights are aligning to solve the islands of liquidity problem. Today, the world's largest central securities depositors, or CSDs, Clearstream, DTCC, and Euroclear, alongside BCG, released a landmark white paper on the tokenization interoperability. As the industry shifts from a theoretical unified ledger to a network of networks reality, the focus is moving beyond experimental pilots toward the structural plumbing required for institutional-grade deployment. I have hair in my mouth. Primary hurdle for the buy side is preventing fragmentation. As entities like Circle, Stripe, Securitize, and Ondo launch proprietary chains, The real risk is creating a siloed ecosystem where the capital is trapped. On the institutional side, liquidity and mobility are non-negotiable. But digital security cannot move across networks or be used as collateral across different venues. The frictionless promise of DLT is lost. Maintaining parity between the digital and legacy systems is critical. Investors need the certainty that tokenized assets provide the same level of security and fungibility they have come to expect from the established financial infrastructure. Preach. The walls have fallen. Kraken just rewrote the crypto regulatory playbook. The regulatory win is a historic shift because it marks the first time the U.S. Federal Reserve has formally integrated a digital asset bank into the core of the U.S. financial rail. By granting Kraken Financial a limited purpose master account, the Fed has implicitly validated that Kraken's anti-money laundering, or AML, and sanctions compliance practice meets the same rigorous standards as traditional banks. This move signals a significant softening of the previously hostile regulatory stance toward crypto, moving from gatekeeping to integration. You know what? That is why I believe David chose Kraken to list OMI. Only had one chance to have the first American exchange, and he chose Kraken. Strategically, this win also legitimizes the Wyoming Special Purpose Depository Institution, or SPDI, framework. It provides that state-chartered full reserve crypto bank can operate in line with federal banking standards without needing a traditional bank as a middleman. For the broader market, this creates a skinny banking blueprint that other firms like Anchorage or Ripple Partners can follow effectively, ending the new era where crypto companies were forced to operate in the periphery of the sovereign financial system. Man, this dude writes a lot. From blockbuster bank to infrastructure giant, why an AI-first architecture is the only shield against the 2026 financial trifecta cliff. 2026 financial services industry is hitting a Nokia moment as traditional fee-based models evaporate, the revenue cliff, and legacy manual processes become too slow to compete, which is the operational cliff. Firms are finding that trending the intersection of AI and blockchain as experimental pilots is a one-way ticket off the invisible cliff. Trifecta cliff, where the 2026 market systemic shift from traditional fee-based models to AI native, tokenized systems. To survive, the modern enterprise must move from being a service provider to a platform-based data-centric ecosystem. A masterclass in this pivot is Goldman Sachs and its GSDAP, which is a digital asset platform. Rather than protecting the old blockbuster model from high-friction issuance fees, Goldman is aggressively tokenizing real-world assets by integrating AI-driven automation for compliance and using blockchain as a high-speed programmable backbone. They have turned stagnant assets into 24/7 liquid collateral. This isn't just an efficiency play, it's a total re-engineering of the firm's business logic. Freaking love this man. And we're at an hour 30. CENTCOM confirmed that B-52s are in this war, B-2 stealth bombers from Missouri, B-1 Lancers, and now B-52 Stratofortresses. America sent its entire bomb fleet to Iran, which is nuts. Trump also declared he has veto power over Iran's next supreme leader. He says, I have to be involved in the appointment, like with Delcy in Venezuela. Khomeini's son is unacceptable to me. We want someone that will bring harmony and peace to Iran, end quote. Anyone continuing Khomeini's policies forces America back to war in 5 years. That's fine. The New York bill would ban AI from answering questions related to medicine, law, dentistry, nursing, psychology, social work, engineering, and more. That is ridiculous. New York is a horrible place sometimes. Anyway, guys, that looks like it's going to be it for me today. Everyone, please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. And everyone say goodbye to Dashi. Goodbye, Dashi. We love you. I'm good. Yeah, I'm feeling all right. Baby, I'ma have the best heckin' night.